Alright, how's everyone doing? John here. So just want to come online today, talk a little bit more about health. And anybody that want to jump on, maybe get a little Q&A going. But I just wanted to tell a story, a very recent story. So back in the month of March, it was last month. Last month, I took my own father to the hospital. Okay, this is a very crazy story. But I think a lot of you can learn a lot from this experience that I had. Oftentimes, you don't know how severe the situation is until you're in the midst of it yourself. So, you want to learn from the setbacks of others. That's a very, very primary key that I've been discussing on. You don't have to wait until your health is in dire straits. You don't have to wait until your health is in such a place you can't turn the situation around or you can't resurface back. If you're having any type of minor problems right now, you need to invest the time and energy to fix your health while you're relatively young and healthy. I don't care if you're in your 20s right now. You may be in your 20s, but your health is absolute shit. And I want to discuss a little bit my recent story to the hospital. So this is what happened. My father was visiting and he thought it was a great idea to not eat any food because he wanted to lose weight. The problem is that he was also drinking at the same time. What happens is that when you're drinking a lot of beer on an empty stomach, the beer has a lot of calories, and that's going to skyrocket your blood sugar. I don't care who you are. If you are drinking beer on an empty stomach, you're going to skyrocket your blood sugar. In a situation your body has to handle all that extra sugar, well, if it doesn't have enough insulin production, if your body cannot produce enough insulin, what's going to happen? You're going to get something called hemoglobin glycation. Hemoglobin glycation. You're going to have a lot of sugar cells floating around your bloodstream, and your red blood cells, they're going to aggregate together. They're going to clump together. That's what happens when you have hemoglobin glycation. Now, everything that I'm sharing is not professional medical advice, diagnosis treatment, and many people will probably mock me for saying stuff like this. I really don't give a shit, because at the end of the day, you're at the hospital, and what these doctors are doing, they're just looking at the symptoms. They're not looking at the root cause to whatever your situation going through. And you're just going to be put on a whole bunch of medications because they don't want you to discover what your problem is. Back to the hospital visit, we were there. And for whatever reason, at that particular hour, many people arrive at the hospital all at the same time. And when you have a backlog of patients, you're not going to get treatment right away. So that's very, very dangerous, right? So you go from the ER to the hospital, and the EMT, their responsibility is to just drop you off the hospital, and that's it. I saw another guy. He was probably around my father's age, maybe younger, and he got into a trauma injury. I think he fell off of something, maybe some type of an accident. There was blood coming down the side of his head. So that was one example, one case. And another lady, she was only in her 20s. I'm pretty sure she got into a motorcycle accident. So these are the other patients that also arrived pretty much at the same time while we're at the hospital. So it's a complete mess while you're there. There's so many moving parts. You're looking at the doctors. You're looking at the other patients. You don't know what to do. And they're just telling you to go from one station to the next. Maybe they're drawing your blood in one station. You're going to the ECG station the next. You're getting some scans done, maybe as an X-ray, MRI. Later on, the cardiologist looking at your ECG, they're like, well, this is what you have to do, etc., etc. Thank you so much. 谢谢. So while I was there, I learned so much being in the hospital. And take every opportunity to learn. If you ever have the chance to go to the hospital, don't think that, oh, I'm just there to, whatever. You want to pay attention to what's going on, not just with your own personal health or the health of your family, but you want to pay attention to the health of other people, because you can learn so much from other people. So what do? We went to the different stations. We went to the ECG. went to get the x-ray, then to get the blood work done, and afterwards they stabilize you. You may take some medications. Of course, they're going to put in the IV, the saline solution, and that's what's going to do a lot of the recovery. A lot of you, you're dehydrated. When you're dehydrated, you're going to get hypertension. You're going to have a problem with your high blood pressure. That's another thing you guys got to pay attention to. You can't just drink water all day thinking that's going to hydrate you. How water by itself is a solvent. It's actually going to pull out a lot of essential minerals that you need. You always need to find a way to replenish your electrolytes, your magnesium, sodium chloride, calcium, those kind of things. And that's what's going to help your body recover. Many people, they're just looking to get that IV, that saline solution. And I don't care if they have a heart problem, if they're already having some high blood pressure issues. They don't give a shit about that. They're going to put that saline solution in you. And you're going to begin to stabilize and you're going to feel a lot better. Many people, they go to the hospital because of that reason. Whether it's for any type of things, if they feel discomfort, if they get dehydrated in the middle of the summer, they're going to go to the hospital. They're going to inject a saline solution. Sometimes multiple bags, multiple bags, just to bring you back up, bring your levels back up. You got to hydrate yourself. So when you are at the hospital, you can learn from your family, from your own health, but also the mistakes of others. While I was at the hospital, there was a guy. He was probably around my age, young looking guy, and he was already in the ICU. I don't know for how long, maybe he's been there for a couple of days, and he was just laying down there. He had swollen feet, extremely swollen feet. When you have extremely swollen feet, it's called edema. Edema, swelling of the feet. When you're looking at anyone with edema, and you'll see many of them at the ICU, this is multiple organ failure. We're looking at liver problems, we're looking at kidney problems. Any single time you are dealing with blood that is not circulating through your system properly, you're going to get edema. That blood viscosity is going to go higher and higher and higher. As it goes higher and higher, all this fluid retention is going to show up. It may show up in your feet, show up in your knee, show up in your hands. So oftentimes you see somebody that's obese, right? Don't just look at their fat tissue. Don't just look at that. Think about how their body is holding on to excess water. What else did I see while I was there? Well, it was definitely like a Korean drama when I was at the hospital. While I was there, so there was a gentleman, he fell off of something. He had blood coming down the side of his head. It was a complete mess. And his son was also there with him. And his son was very, I would say, very pissed off. He was basically yelling at his dad the whole time. He was telling him, you should have done this, you should have done that. We've been telling you this, you should have taken this before, taken care of this before. And also his wife was also there. It's just a very, very ugly scene because he broke his shoulder, right? So it's very likely that he's going to stay at the hospital for the next couple of days just to get surgery done on his shoulder. And there's a lot of risk. If you're a little bit older and you're going to do these procedures, it's very risky. So what you guys got to do is recognizing that just because you're not at the hospital doesn't mean that this situation or this circumstance is somehow very far and distant from you. In fact, it should strike you closer to home, because this could happen to anybody. I don't care if you're young, you're middle age, or you're old. There's always a risk that if you don't take care of your health, right, you're going to end up at the hospital. That's what's going to happen. And when you're in the hospital, they don't have the time of day to take care of you. They're just rushing one patient to the next. So each particular nurse, they're assigned to a particular station. So that one lady, she's focused on the ECG. She's focused on that. Another lady, she's drawing blood. She's focused on that. Another one, she's directing people to different beds in the ICU. She's focused on that. Right? Maybe another person taking people over to do the x-ray. She's focused on that. And there are these different stations that you go to pick up your medications or get additional tests done. That's what the hospital is all about. Okay. And I just don't think they have enough people on staff. Maybe you have a different hospital, they're very, very well staffed, and then you're going to get proper treatment in a short period of time. But time is of the essence, simply because if you are waiting, okay, at the door of the ICU, right, you're not able to go in, you're going to have a lot of problems. Hello, Kai Shi. Good to see you. I'm just telling a story. I recently went to the hospital. If you want to join the call with me, you can certainly do so. You can just request the call. See how you're doing. See how detoxing. You have any questions for me? You can ask me any questions. So you guys, take good care of your health when you are young. You do not want to wait. And this message is not for everyone. And most people, they finally have the aha moment when they're at the hospital. Why didn't I listen to John earlier? Why didn't I heed to his advice, right? And you have all this regret. I don't know why. I'm just wired in this way where I look at liabilities concerns a lot closely, more than most people out there. When I see liabilities concerns, I'm not just looking at the family medical records of my family members, but I'm also looking at, all right, other people, they're struggling through, doing different things. And you're only 1 or 2 degrees of separation from where they're at if you don't fix your situation right now. And it happens so quickly, right? And every single day, it's just routine. People go to the hospital, some people make it, and some people leave the hospital. And some people go to the hospital, they don't make it, and that's basically the end of their life, right? So if you're interested in life extension, you have to think about it as soon as possible, as early as possible, looking at different liabilities concerns that are around your surroundings right now. Through nutrition, through exercise, through detoxification. Now, I teach a lot regarding detoxification. I show people and teach people the reason why your health is shit is because you haven't taken care of your health. What that means is there are so many things that you can do to improve your health, such as eliminating the waste material that's currently sitting there in your body right now. Most people, they don't focus on that. They're just looking at the symptoms. And over time, it just gets progressively worse. I'm talking about it can range from chronic constipation, you can have persistent gas, diarrhea, bloating and gas. It could be hernia. Some of these procedures are extremely uncomfortable, and you want to study them up as early as possible. Look at what those risks are, okay? If you go to the hospital or you're having some colorectal problems, there are these people that are called proctologists. People are having colorectal problems. They're having fissures, anal fissures, fistulas, hemorrhoids around the colorectal area. And of course, you have these specialists that are going to go in there and fix your problem. They're going to patch up your hemorrhoids. They're going to do this and that and the third to fix your colorectal problems. But if you're still dealing with chronic constipation on top, and many people are, I'm talking about in the hundreds of millions of people around the world that are struggling with chronic constipation. It's not a small number. And this number only continues to increase because of our shit diet, people's complete negligence with their nutrition, with their lack of exercise, movement. Well, you're just going to have waste material sitting there in your body. And you wonder why you have other skin conditions that is just popping up. Maybe you're dealing with nasal congestion. You have a mental fog that is persistent. It doesn't go away. Or you're dealing with joint pains, aches and pains, rheumatoid arthritis. you don't get the waste material out of the body. Number one, you gotta fix your urination. Many of you do not drink enough water, you don't hydrate properly, you don't go to the bathroom enough. That's number one. Number two, proper bowel movements. Many of you don't use the bathroom enough. If you're not going to the bathroom every single day, you're chronically constipated. Next, you have to find a way to sweat. I don't care if you exercise, if you go to the sauna, you do some vibration plate, you do any type of physical activity that's going to help you sweat. These are your detoxification pathways: urination, bowel movements, and sweating. And of course, you got to be eating nutritionally. Whatever you're eating, it must be full of nutrients that's going to replenish your cells. You're not just eating for taste. You're not just eating for entertainment, or for, social gatherings. You're eating for nutritional value. And that's something most people don't think about. So I just wanted to pop on this call. If you guys have any questions for me, just leave me a DM. Or if you want to get into my programs right away, you guys can find them in my bio link. I want you guys to take action, right? Take action on your own personal health. If this is something for you, take action. You want to do it consistently. Maybe you've done my protocol before, but you're not even consistent. You do it like once every other month or once every couple of months, and that's not consistent enough. It doesn't matter how much progress that I made. I continue to do my detox protocols every single week. There are only 52 weeks in a year. You want to invest and do something for your health all 52 weeks. And every single time you do something for your health, it's going to unlock the next level kind of video game. Just like a video game, how you upgrade your character. New information is going to come into your field to better your health. It might come in a form of exercise, come in a form of nutritional supplement, come in a form of meditation, and you're going to continually upgrade yourself in that way. I just don't know if there's anything else other than this. There's no plan B, because when you're at the hospital, it's pretty much game over. They're going to drag you through a whole bunch of tests, and they're going to tell you, well, these values are in range, out of range. These other values are in range, out of range. These are the medications that you take, and you are trapped in that system. If you want to be trapped in that system, go right ahead. I don't care anymore. And part of my mistake is that I did care before, a little bit too much. And going forward, I was just like, you know what? If you guys listen and take heed to this information, great. If you don't, I don't really care, because I'm able to help my own family already. And I already won in this game at the end of the day. It's like, because the people that I truly care about already do what I do, right? So are they completely fixed with all their problems? No. But they know they're going the right trajectory with their health. Most people, the health trajectory is always going down. They're not getting any better, and they have no expectation of getting better. If you're making the moves, if you're doing the detox protocols, you should feel your body with a health trajectory that is going up and up. And as you do that, you're going to feel more confident about your future. Most people, they have no confidence about their own personal health and how it's going to get better, because they don't expect it to get better. And I have different protocols that teaches you how to clean out the small and large intestines. Next, it will be about the parasite cleanse. Most people don't know. There's so many different parasites that could be plaguing your body right now. And next, you have liver and gallbladder cleanse. You want to understand and study human physiology. Where is the location of your gallbladder? Why do you get gallstones? Why do you get intrahepatic stones in the liver, and how can you get them out of your body in a safe way? Next, you have kidney cleanse. Right? Many people, you have kidney stones, unresolved problems in the kidneys, and most people, they could be on that transplant list for many, many years and never get any type of relief or get the actual transplant. So instead of doing that, you want to fix your kidneys as early as possible. I don't care if you're 18, 19, 20 years old. Your kidneys could be shot right now. And you want to do everything that you can to turn the situation around, to fix your internal organs, so you don't go down this dark path of multiple organ failures. Once again, at the ICU, that's what you see. You see multiple organ failures all day, every day. Multiple people with cases of edema. Not just regular edema, I'm talking about weeping edema. A weeping edema is when the feet has gotten so big, it is so swollen up, the skin actually bursts. The skin bursts, and there's fluid flowing out of the feet. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you're here, you have any questions regarding health, just shout out to me with my DMs, and have an amazing rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you soon.